Hello, everyone, for joining us for our product walkthrough webinar. My name is Anton Danilovich. I'm the CEO of TopHap. TopHap stands for Top Homes and Properties. I'm a 16-year veteran of the industry, and I'm excited to go ahead and give you guys a run through our product and how it works. So what is TopHap? TopHap is a market intelligence platform for residential real estate professionals. What is market intelligence? For us seasoned guys that are on the call, it's everything that's currently inside our heads that we've learned over the years of doing business in our specific area. Everything that we've derived from transactions that we've closed is the information that I call market intelligence. For new guys stepping into the business, market intelligence is something that you will acquire over time, over dozens of close transactions in your specific area. And market intelligence is what we all need as professionals to grow and succeed in this industry. And that's what TopHap provides. It provides market intelligence, visual market intelligence to all of our users in any part of California, whether you're analyzing the state, the zip code, the city, or a neighborhood block, or a specific property. We provide you the information you need to know to be able to make better data-driven decisions. So first things first, when you come to our platform, you are introduced with this color-coded map. We call this our heat map. And what you are seeing is the most important thing about any market that anybody needs to understand, and that's home values. If you look at the legend up on the left, you can see that the colors range from light to dark. And in this case, the lighter colors represent a lower home value and the darker colors represent a higher home value region. So for focusing on this map, we can see right in here, this darker area in the peninsula of the Bay, Hillsborough, has higher home prices. And anybody that's local knows this to be true. Anybody that is not familiar with this area quickly understands that with a very quick color reference. If we go down here at the bottom, Atherton is also hot, but why don't we go a little bit deeper into Hillsborough? As you can see, as you move the map and zoom in, things get much more granular. You can now see what the values look like within this particular area based on streets. So we can see that this particular region right over here, if we're hovering over the hexagons, there's 3 properties in each here saying average price of homes is 8.67 million, 2 homes here, 9.4, 10.3, and a street right next to it is a lot less expensive, right? 6.3, 5.9, 5.1. So this is really interesting to understand for somebody that doesn't work this market, where the separation of home values are and what these neighborhoods really look like. So if we take this a little bit further down, and now we are introduced to the same view, but with street and parcel level. What you're seeing now is individual homes and the value associated of each individual home based on each parcel. So we can clearly see and understand that this is a more expensive area of this town, and here things get a lot less expensive. And this is really cool. You have this higher value pocket amongst less expensive homes. So this really just helps you surf around and understand what you're dealing with. So if you're analyzing this region, you can really get a really clear clarification of what something is worth based on the street that it's on. The second thing that anybody really needs to understand when analyzing an area is price per square foot, right? So you want to see what things cost. You want to see what things cost via price per square foot. And here we go. You can start looking in the blocks here are going for around $1,000 a foot, $1,200 a foot, 16, 13, 14. So you really get the separation of home values based by price per square foot. We have living area, shows you where the big homes are, where the small houses are. You can start looking at bedroom counts. You can start looking at bathroom counts. Lot size, look at that. And even age of homes. So these layers at the bottom, these are our regional analytics layers. As you toggle through every one of these, you really get to know the lay of the land, what something is worth based on price, what something is worth based on price per square foot, what the sizes of homes are, bedroom, bathroom combinations, lot sizes, and age. Age is really interesting in here. Let me take a look. So, I mean, what is this information really for, right? I mean, as a real estate professional, it really helps you hone down and understand the property that you are researching in the neighborhood or the street that it's located on. So you can better understand its value, whether it's to make an offer to buy or a list price. And more importantly, talk to your client about that information. Now, let's take a look at something really cool. So when looking at properties, there is more than just property details that we need to know, right? Bedroom, bathroom size, and everything else, right? There's also lot. And when you have somebody looking for an acre of land, they typically want a usable acre, not something that's hillside or upslope, downslope. But it's also interesting to understand what a lot looks like, right, as far as its topography. So if you look here at the right, we have our 3D elevation button layer, and as if you hit that, and then hit any single parcel in California. So let's take a look at this house right here. And we zoom in, you can see the lot topography. You can see this is an upslope lot. And if you use these sliders at the bottom, also here on the left, this really lets you zoom around the property and understand what it looks like, right? You can also use your mouse to do that as well. So when you're advising a client, you've never been to the property, you want to really understand what the house looks like. Lot has a lot to do with it, and whether it's a 1 acre flat or upslope or downslope, this really lets you understand the usability of this particular lot as far as a home site and also its visual, layout. Now, if we zoom back out, let me talk about these hexagons. As you can see, this clearly identifies the most hottest region as far as value goes in the map and the section that you're looking at. As you zoom in, you will notice that everything on your screen readjusts. And if you go into this light green area of this particular city, it too will adopt the entire color palette spread and show you what things are worth as you zoom in and get really granular on your research. So if we're looking at this area, it's very clear that properties here across the street are 10 to 20% higher and more expensive than the ones on the right. As we hone in on a random street here and then your neighborhood and really zoom in and take a look, you can start seeing the more expensive properties in this particular area and the least expensive ones. So we also have permit layers. Let me turn this off. So if we zoom in, this permit layer shows you current and past permit activity. You can look up permits by count, permits by value. You can select the date range. You can look at closed permits, open permits, and permit types. So if you are interested in, let's say, new construction, and you want to analyze areas that have a lot of new construction going on, this will identify those areas for you. Now, let's talk about listings. Everything on the bottom of our site is regional analytics. So everything you need to know about an area, you will go to these buttons on the bottom, toggle through them, and learn. If you want to start looking up properties for sale, you turn on this left listing layer, as I did, and you can see what we see in front of us are listing dots. And also take a look at the legend up on the left. You will see that the color of the dots is the price of the home, and the size of the dots is the size of the home. Now, if you are an expert in our tool, you can also customize the color to reflect, could be price per square foot, could be living area, lot size, garage spaces, whatever you want it to do. And the radius can also reflect a number of other things like lot sizes, bedrooms, bathrooms. But essentially, the reason we did that is we wanted to give our listing layer a new dimension. Okay, and what I mean by this is if we zoom out and we're looking at this region, if you go to Zillow, Realtor.com, what you're presented is with this. Dots, right? Okay, great. Homes for sale all over the place, interesting. But when you're analyzing a region at this higher level, I wanted to be able to give you guys something more. Tell a story. What we can see now is listings all over the Bay Area represented by color and size. The darker or the red colors represent higher price points. The lighter colors are cheaper homes. The bigger circles represent bigger houses, and the smaller ones represent some of their smaller counterparts. So we can see groupings. We can see the peninsula has big, expensive homes. We can go across the street, across the bay to Oakland and see smaller, less expensive homes and regions that have both. So visually, as we hone in on the area and we're looking at properties for sale, and by the way, up on top, these are all your property filters. You can search by property status, let's say active, price points. Let's say we're looking $1 million to $3 million. We are looking for a specific type of residential home. We can look at houses, condos, townhomes. Let's say we're looking at homes. Bedrooms, let's say 3-bedroom, bathroom, let's say 2, and so on. You can see the results on the map. If you look at the legend on the left, again, you can see that our labels are color-coded. Green is for new properties that have been listed on the market for less than 7 days. Active are bluish purple, pendings are yellow, and solds are red. And if you want to get a clear snapshot of the market, hit any that shows you active, pending, solds. You can choose to look at solds going back as far as you want. All of this is here for you to analyze. Now, you can also layer listing over value estimate, right? So this starts really educating you and really helping you see if a property is priced right for a particular neighborhood, right? The darker colors in our valuation layers represent higher home prices, and this house is right in there, so that's pretty accurate. I also want to show you guys a couple of different options for maps. So as you're running your analytics, there's a lot of colors on the map, and if you want to change the way things are look, we have a couple of different map options for you. We have dark mode. Let's see what that looks like. You also have color. And you also have black and white, which is really cool. So whatever analysis that you're doing on whatever screen, you can choose a different background color to help with that. And let's turn all of this off. I want to show you guys boundaries. So if we zoom out to the state level and you really kind of want to learn about any specific county, you can choose any one you want to go into. And as you navigate the state, all you have to do is hover over one and click on it. It'll zoom you right in. As you zoom in, it splits everything up by city names. So you want to go into San Rafael and then start separating things by zip codes, which is really cool. So let's turn on the listings. Let's see what's for sale in this region. Let's turn off these filters so we get the full scope of the market. And let's pick up properties. Let's go to the end. I'm gonna let this guy. Perfect, here we go. Active home for sale on the market for 1548. Let me talk about this property detail page. And you can do this to any home in California, whether it's listed or not. And you can really take a look and see what, or the specific analytics and details of the specific property. So first thing I want to draw your attention to is the property valuation history. This shows you what the value of this home has done over the last few years, and also showing you seasonality of the property. The project value calculator on the bottom is really cool, right? Say you have a client or yourself are looking to buy this home and you want to increase its size. So we have this home at 1,931 square feet. What if you want to add 500 square feet? Well, you can see what happens when you do that and what happens to the value. We have comparables for that particular home here on the left. So if we go back down to 1,900 square feet, which was at the original size, you can see what the comps are currently are. But when we start playing around and changing the home's parameters, you can see that the system is identifying different comparables to come up with its proposed projected value. So this is really interesting. Again, somebody that's looking for a project, you can really see what the home is worth after the suggested modifications. This nearby property statistics graph is super helpful. One of the things that we always, the main thing we always decide as agents is what is a property, what should the property be priced at when we're listing it? Or what should we be offering for it when we're working with buyers? This shows you what this neighborhood brings in based on property size, which is here at the bottom, and the price per square foot associated with the size of that house in that neighborhood. So in this case, homes in this statistical neighborhood bring in, which are around 2,000 square feet, bring in $581 a foot, but as you increase in size, the price per square foot drops. So if you have a client that's looking to list a 3,000 square foot house, but he's looking at his 2,000 square foot neighbors, well, you can show them that his price per square foot needs to be relatively lower. And in this particular area, somebody that's listing a 3,500 square foot house or a 4,000 square foot house, that drops down even further. We have, you can also do this type of analysis and look at similarities or counties, cities, zip. You can also analyze the lot area, bedrooms, bathrooms, and property age. We have all of public record information for this particular home. You can check this out here. Property value history over time, and previous listing and transfer history right here on the left. Now, let's take a look at I'm going to show you guys a property that has permit history. Let's go in here. So this is interesting to know, right? Before you, as you're analyzing a property, you want to see if there's been any work done to it, because that affects the listing price, that affects the purchase price, and you can do that, and you can check this out at any property you research in California. Here's the property details. You can see there was a permit in March of 17. You can see the permit details, bathroom remodel, bedroom remodel, full remodel. You can see what this home has sold for in the past. You can look at its previous permit history, because we have permit history going back about 20 years. Very helpful information. Let's see, let me go back, see what we got going on. Let's take a look at this left section right over here. I want to bring your attention to these tabs. So this is a listing tab. This is a regional statistics tab. And as the product evolves, you guys, we will have further options here for you. But this gives you a quick overview of what this area looks like based on home size and price per square foot. Also shows you days on market versus price. So in this case, As I zoom the map in and out, you can see the graphs change. So let's say we want to analyze this specific neighborhood in front of us. What you can do, you can use this drawing tool on the right. I'm going to click it. I'm going to draw a circle around this neighborhood that I want to analyze. And I can see that everything within this neighborhood is between 4,000 and 6,000 square feet. I can see the price per square foot based on the size of the properties. And here I can clearly see that 5,000 square foot houses in this neighborhood are in the most demand, bringing $582 a foot, dropping down to $562 for 6,000 and 6,000 plus $522. And if you want to go ahead and X out of this selection, you click on it and you hit View Lead. Now let's take a look at this area really quick and run through the analytics on the bottom here. Again, property values. We can see that these neighborhoods on the right, even though they're so close together, they're cheaper. Let's take a look at what price per square foot looks like in this area. Again, you can see clear separations and groupings of the homes here in this street. These guys, if we zoom out, we can see that everything is kind of all over the place in the neighborhood on the left. Living area of pricing of the streets, again, grouped together. If we look at age, clear separation, right? If we're analyzing this neighborhood, it's 5 years older than the one here. But then the one to the right is also about 30 years older than the one on the left. So if you have a client that's looking to sell and list a property within this neighborhood, if you are using comps from the neighborhood to the right, and look, they even share the same street, that you're going to have to adjust your price accordingly based on the age of the house. Let me show you guys a really cool example of So this was really cool when I first saw this, when we were zooming around Oakland and San Leandro. We're looking at the values. Pay attention to this section right over here. We can see that there is a boundary, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this boundary off. So take a look. We have home prices here, average price 763, 834, 829. One block over, we're down to 587, 622, right? And look at this very clear separation as we're moving across. Let's zoom in a little bit and take a look at this street. This is the type of market intelligence that's only known by the professionals within this region. New guys coming in, buyers looking around would not know this. But if we look at the two streets, homes that are connected by a 4-inch fence backing up to one another, we have a different property values of around $200,000 to $300,000. And we can clearly see that here, right? The reason this is happening, and I'll tell you guys when to turn the boundaries back on. Say county, zip, place. Let me turn this off. This is Oakland, 94603. 94577 is San Leandro. And even though they both flow into one another, it's crazy how much of a value difference that we see in such a close proximity. So as you analyze this, this type of information, again, is only known by the seasoned guys working and operating there. And for us stepping into this market, this would take a long time to figure out. And you can also analyze the area based on age. Again, I mean, look at all these homes. These are all 75 years, and these are 90, 100. There's some newer properties in there that were probably redone over time, but living area, price per square foot, and all of other relevant information. So again, I want to go ahead and zoom back out, talk about the fact that you can do this type of analytics in any county, any city, any zip code. You can get as granular as you really want to. Also, I want to promote that when you guys are using the platform and you have some questions, we are currently working on all of our product walkthrough feature videos to really get into detail of how to more properly use each of these functions. But in the meantime, you can connect with us with this upper right question. So if you say chat with us, you can start talking to one of us right away. You can submit feedback fairly easy. I also want to show you guys the share button. If you are zooming around, hold on one second. And you want to go ahead and share something that you found. Let's say you're looking at property spending, separate price point, let's say 2 million to 3 million, and you want to share the screen with somebody. All you have to do is click this link, it copies it to your clipboard, and you can paste it into an email. And something, exact copy of what you've had selected is sent to or anybody you want to share this with the client, with a colleague, or anyone. So this concludes our presentation. We have a few minutes to go ahead and take some questions, and if you guys have any specific questions, raise your hands. I'll get to them. And thank you for participating. Okay, guys, well, thank you so much for participating. We're going to have another webinar next Friday going over the product details further. So if you want to learn a little bit more, please join us. In the meantime, we will be working on our product demos and feature walkthroughs that you will start seeing over the next couple of weeks on our YouTube page. I hope you all spend more time on the platform and use it to go and win more business. Thank you, everyone, and I hope everybody has a great day.